Hello and welcome to another edition of the Bible with Butzy, Journey Through Judges. Okay, we're finally on chapter 6, and I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get a strong sense of deja vu. Take a look at verse 1 right here. The people of Israel did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord gave them into the hand of Midian 7 years. Dang it! For some reason, the Israelites just keep screwing up. But honestly, so do we a lot of times. So are we really that different? Food for thought. So we've got the next judge in line, and this guy's name is Gideon. So today is part 1 of Gideon, Journey Through Judges. This is so awesome because this Gideon is just so real and authentic. So let me tell you this story. The Israelites are doing evil again. God gives them into the hand of an enemy people. And then God calls Gideon to become a judge. Now here's what's so crazy about what happens with Gideon. Gideon actually is honest with God. Shocker! Isn't that crazy that we can actually do that? Take a look at this. In verse 12, God sends Gideon an angel to say, "Yo dog, you're gonna be my new judge." Verse 12, and the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said to him, "The Lord is with you, O mighty man of valor." Not a bad intro. And Gideon said to him, "Please, my Lord, if the Lord is with us, why then has all this happened to us? And where are all his wonderful deeds that our fathers recounted to us, saying, 'Did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt?' But now the Lord has forsaken us and given us into the hand of Midian." Whoa! He actually told the truth about what he was feeling? And this guy was the judge to lead God's people? Double! But see, that's the thing. It's almost like God chose this guy because he was going to be honest with him. But you know what's the crazy and awesome thing? Just because Gideon challenged God doesn't mean he wasn't going to follow him. In fact, the Lord tells Gideon this, "Go in this might of yours and save Israel from the hand of Midian. Do not I send you?" And of course, even this isn't good enough for Gideon, so he has to question God again. But then here's what God tells him, and this is super important. "But I will be with you, and you shall strike the Midianites as one man." Here's the interesting thing with Gideon. The whole rest of the chapter, he seems to be continuing to question God. And from our perspective, we say, "What, you don't believe God?" But you know what? Gideon, in his faithfulness, which is interesting because we are also talking about faithfulness in the Fruit of the Spirit series that we are doing. Crossover! Here's the thing. Because of Gideon's faithfulness, he decides to have a conversation with God. Gideon is honest and open with God, and he's vulnerable with him. And God responds to him and says, "You know what, Gideon, I know you're scared, but here is the important part. I'm going to be with you." This is merely the beginning of Gideon's story, and I don't want to shortchange any of it. So today, we focus on Gideon's faithfulness and his vulnerability with God, and God's response to Gideon. "Gideon, I will be with you." There's a whole bunch of Gideon left to go, though, in the Journey Through Judges. Stay tuned next week for the sign of the fleece. And if you want to hear more about faithfulness and how that's one of the fruit of the Spirit, tune in this Sunday night for eFused PM at 7 p.m. on Zoom. This has been The Bible with Butzy. See you next week.